Hey everyone, it's your girl Miss Angie, and we are back with another Let's Talk Tuesday. So anyways, as you see from the title, we are talking about women proposing to men. And before I really go deep on this topic, I just wanted to kind of go back to the last video, which we are still talking about tradition. Last topic, we were basically talking about meeting the parents. Like, are we still sticking to tradition to meeting parents? Or have we kind of like slacked from it? Do we feel like it's still as important? For me, like I said, well, like I would say currently right now, me being in a relationship is very important for my boyfriend to meet my family and for me to meet his family, especially by me and him having a child together. So I feel like it just definitely depends on when you feel like you're ready to introduce your significant other to your family and friends and parents. Because I also feel like it could be a short-term situation or a relationship or something that you thought was going to go somewhere and it doesn't. And then now you have to turn around and tell everybody that you introduced them to, like, no, we're not together. And of course that can also be in a regular standard relationship. But I just feel like a lot of times it's good to just make sure that you're ready when it's the right time. So still sticking on that whole topic of tradition, I know it's a big thing. I even think it was a video that had went viral before of a woman proposing to a man. So it's so much positive and negative feedback on the whole proposal process. So for me, I would say personally for me, I feel like I would want my boyfriend, who I'm currently with, if he decided that, you know, because we have talked about marriage, that he wants to marry me, I prefer him to propose to me. A lot of that could be because of how I grew up, the background of me growing up in a Christian background and things like that. But I would not say I would knock down the woman for wanting to ask the hand of her boyfriend to be, you know, that she would want him to be her husband. I'm not going to knock that because I don't want to judge. Everybody's situation is different. And even when we look at cultural situations and how people were brought up, there is so much difference. Like, we know in cultures where they are put together, man and woman, and they don't even know each other. So there's so much, you know, when we talk about tradition. But I totally feel like we shouldn't knock down the woman for wanting to express herself and asking a man for hand in marriage. I just feel like I couldn't do it. Because I would want it. It makes me feel so good to know that a man has chose me to be his wife. And not saying that you want to take away from a man feeling important in that same process, but I just feel like I would want to know that you picked me to be your wife, and that makes me feel good to know that. But if a woman decides to get on one knee and ask her boyfriend to be her husband, then I feel like we shouldn't knock it. But I also don't want women to be proposing to a man because A, we feel like they won't do it anyways. B, because we feel like we're in a rush. C, because we want a family and we want kids and everything else. Because these are all factors that play in why we want to rush to get married. Another sad thing also is that I feel like marriage is not as serious as how it used to be back in the day. A lot of people don't put marriage as a level of importance. But still, we should not knock the woman for wanting to ask the man's hand in marriage if she's doing it knowing that she loves him and that she feels like he's the right person. And that's another area. We have to make sure that it goes way before the proposing part. We have to make sure that who we are proposing to is the right person for us. Everybody is not meant to be a wife. Everyone is not meant to be a husband. That's just facts. Lay it how you need to, lay it out there how you need to. Like, it's just facts. We have to understand that it's very important to be equally yoked, have the same morals and values of some level on how to raise a family, on how to be on one accord. Because if one person is doing one thing and the other person is doing another thing, a lot of times it's going to be hard for this relationship that you're in to go further. So I definitely feel like we can't put so much emphasis on the proposal and how the aesthetics of the wedding should be and the ring. These are all important aspects of it, but a lot of people who get married say it was too much that you didn't need. A lot of people say have a small wedding and go ahead and have a trip, spend money on a trip, spend money on a house. You know, a lot of people put money into weddings and they look back and be like, I wish I just would have did this differently. And I don't want to take anything away from anybody's experience of having a wedding, because I definitely want a wedding. But I understand the importance now more so than what I did when I was younger. I understand that you want to make sure that you're with the right person. Make sure that you go through relationship counseling or marriage counseling. Make sure that you guys really have thought about what this looks like once we get married, because getting married and getting a divorce is a bigger process from just breaking up from a relationship. Yes, it both has its tolls, but the process is going to be totally different. So I just want people not to rush. But I don't feel like we should bash the woman if she decides, I want to propose to my man. But I feel like it has to be all in right reasoning. And a lot of times we are so ready for the man to commit and want something and he's not ready. And that's the last thing we want to do, is force a relationship on anyone. You never want to force a relationship. You never want to force a marriage. I remember real quick, I was watching Iyanla Fix My Life. And the man was basically living a secret life, doing what he was doing, cheating on his wife, and he continued to cheat. And what was so interesting was when she asked about the process of when he asked her to marry, when he asked the whole question of marriage to his current wife that he was married to at the time, he said that it was a joke. He said, well, I was just joking, I wasn't serious. But when she took the response of it being serious and she responded serious, as if to say, yes, I'll be your wife, he felt right then that he was committed to then marrying her. Instead of saying, I was just joking, he continued to go through this whole process. They had 2 kids together and he was not ready for marriage at all. It was just a simple conversation, within conversation, a joke. And so that therefore showed why he was cheating on her, because he wasn't there anyways. He wasn't in the marriage. And I thought about that. Like, that's the main issue. It's not about the proposal. It's not about how the wedding is supposed to look. It's about the connection and the bond between 2 people that are in the right headspace and ready for marriage. You can't rush a marriage. You can't force a marriage. And you have to know that whatever you're coming into, you need to know that you're coming into it wholeheartedly and not playing with somebody. It's serious, you know? So I feel like we put so much emphasis on, I got to get the dress, I have to make sure the venue is nice, and we go through that. And that's all important. That's a girl's dream to have that. But we want to make sure that we are just in the right space. So I feel like, ladies, if you decide you want to propose to your man, just make sure that you're doing it from a good space. Now, like I said, I'm not knocking it, I'm not judging it, but I would want to be proposed to. Just because, for me, I still hold that form of tradition. But the ring doesn't have to be a big ring. Me and my boyfriend have talked about that. I don't have to have a big fancy wedding. I could just have a few of my family members, and then I can have a really nice reception, and then we can go on vacation. It doesn't have to be anything super big. A wedding is just that celebration moment of the 2 coming together. But it doesn't have to be all of that. I don't have to spend a lot of money. But if you decide that that's what you want to do, that's cool. I'm just saying, for me, I feel like the main basis of the relationship is knowing who you're marrying and knowing that it's the right time and moment to be married, to propose. So I just want, if you guys want to comment on this video and say how you feel, because in these videos of Let's Talk Tuesday, it's all about, you know, just my opinion on a certain subject, or maybe something that I might have been through and I love to share. And I love other people to have their opinions and share on how they feel. And no, I don't feel like in this subject, there's not a wrong answer. It's just basically how people choose to live their life. But I want to make sure that the women understand, you don't want to propose to a man because you're in a rush and you feel like you want kids and you feel like you want this lifestyle and you feel like, well, he's not going to do it, so let me do it. Because that's all the wrong reasons. But yes, marriage before God is very important. And I feel like we just have to make sure that we're doing the right work within ourselves to make sure that we're prepared for a marriage and to be able to show up for our kids in that marriage, because they see it too. Our kids see it. Our kids see a functional relationship, and they should be able to see that and know that marriage is positive. So anyways, that is just my take on if a woman should propose to a man. And like I said, there's no judgment. I personally would like to be proposed to. But at the end of the day, if a woman decides that she wants to propose to a man, that's totally up to her. And so, like I said, there's no judgment on that subject. But it has been an ongoing conversation. It has, like I said, I want to say that video that had went viral of the woman, you know, and I know everybody's like, oh no, she don't need to be doing that. He need to propose to her. And some people feel like, why not? You know, it's 2024. A lot of things are changing right now. But for me, for your girl, propose to me. Propose to me. Oh, and like I told my boyfriend, make sure God is guiding you when you feel like you're ready. But propose to me. Because then it makes me feel still in that traditional moment of making me feel like, yes, like he chose me to be his wife, you know? So that's just kind of like my input on it. I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos and being supportive on the content. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another Let's Talk Tuesday. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.